So, like you mentioned before, there's always an upset, right?
Yeah.
And my upset of the week is Washington to win. But me personally, I made sure to be safe with my bet and put Washington +8. Anybody who sees that spread, you should bet on it because it's gonna happen. There's no fucking way the Bucs are blowing this team out. So, and that's no matter what, this game is gonna be a 24.
Even if Alex Smith doesn't play.
No, Alex Smith is playing.
You sure?
24. Yep. 24-17 is max the difference in this score. At the worst. There's no way the Bucs is scoring more than 24 points in this game. And I'd bet my life on it.
That seems like an aggressive bet. Way more aggressive than my $20. Your life seems aggressive.
It's Chase Young, there's no one thing we know about Tom Brady is he's fucking scared as fuck of the pass rush.
I mean, that's because he's old.
And that's been his whole career. If you look at him,
he's old, and that's his game.
Well, what I guess, but
his game is to not get sacked.
When you have a pass rush go against Tom Brady, when Brady is blitzed, his completion percentage is 33%. That's literally the 33rd ranked quarterback in the league, and there's only 32. Or 30, whatever the fuck. So
I'm pretty sure there's
literally
32.
worse than the worst.
Yeah.
So,
You were right, 32.
Yeah. So he's gonna be calling for help like he just did. Mm-hmm. You saw him with the microphone. He's calling for help. He's gonna be scared as fuck, and this is gonna be a very low scoring game because Brady's gonna be a puss. And he's also lucky that this team is not actually a true playoff team. He gets to face one of those. So he might be able to get out of this round, but he's definitely not leaving once he faces an actual playoff team. My man is 1-5 against the fucking playoff. Everybody in the
they're gonna get their ass beat, but if they win next week,
for all you Brady cocksuckers, you see, I'm nice to Bills Mafia and shit like that, but for all you Brady cocksuckers, y'all gonna see his fucking.
Quick question. Last year, who was your favorite player in the league? Oh no, wait. Before that, before Patrick Mahomes, who was your favorite player in the league?
That was when he was actually good.
Okay. Could you just tell me who for the audience?
I like Brady.
Oh, all right. Tom Brady was your favorite player in the league.
And you want to know what's the funniest part? This is not even last year. Last year, I wasn't hating on Brady either. Even in the beginning of this year, I wasn't hating on Brady. You want to know what made me hate on Brady? Is when I started looking at him and I'm like, bro, he's not really he's not the best quarterback in the league. And I have friends who fucking text me once a week when he goes against Detroit, Atlanta, and fucking the worst teams in the league and beats shit down their leg. And then when he faces a team like, I don't know, the Saints, who are in his division and they're for the taking for the number 1 seed in their division, he's just nowhere to be found. And then they don't have a fucking explanation about it.
Jameis Winston literally gave them all the place. I believe.
Okay, what about Chicago? What about the freaking Giants? What about he's going against teams who
I think the final score of this game is 21-12. And I think the Bucs are going to win. And I think that, first of all, did you hear what Chase Young said to start the week? That he's coming for Brady. He's coming to eat him.
I want Brady. I want Tom.
I don't think his offense can back up what he's saying right now. His mouth is writing checks that the offense's ass cannot cash. I don't think, unless they go in there and get 2 defensive touchdowns, they're not winning this game. I don't think that they're going to win this game. They would literally have to do, and if they do win this game, then their offense is putting up, they're having the game of their life. Like Alex Smith, this will be like a game that they write documentaries about.
Who do you trust to have less turnovers, Alex Smith or Tom Brady?
Tom Brady, 100%.
I definitely trust Alex Smith to have less turnovers.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Way more conservative. And it's not even because
the Bucs defense is good.
Huh?
The Bucs defense has been better this year, definitely than last year, but they've been very good outside of a few exceptions.
The only and it's not because I think Alex Smith is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. I'm not stupid. what I'm also not gonna say is that tendencies and also the fucking coaching staff is not gonna. At the end of the day, Tom Brady's not gonna be in total control of the offense. Bruce Arians at some point is gonna want to take shots, and that's when. And in order to take shots, you have to hold the ball for a couple of seconds. Can you hold the ball for 5 seconds against that Washington front? I don't know.
I don't think. So. I think Bruce Arians. First of all, if the plan going in is we're gonna have Brady throw 45 times against this defense, then you're right. I don't think they stand a chance. I think they should be running the ball with Fournette and Ronald Jones all game. They should be controlling the clock, and they should be playing West Coast. That's what's beaten the. I was about to say their old name, but that's what's beaten the Washington football team all year. And I think if Alex Smith is gonna play and he's healthy, then I don't know. Terry McLaurin's a very good receiver, but I just don't think they have the firepower to score. They have to score 24 points at least, and I can't imagine it. And I've seen Brady score 24 points.
I don't think they have to score 24. I think they can hold that Bucs offense to less than 20 points. Especially if Washington
have they scored? Have they scored? Have they had a game like that all year? Outside of the Bears? The Bears are the only one I can think of off the top of my head. Let me see.
Yeah, we gotta go there. But and I probably should mention this as you're looking it up. Alex Smith is injured, and also, this is the NFL, and they're gonna attack. Bruce Arians, or whatever the fuck the defensive coordinator's name is, he loves to blitz. So he's gonna blitz the shit out of Alex Smith too, and I could see him, obviously being that's why I think it's gonna be a very low scoring defensive game, because I could totally see Alex Smith not scoring a ton of points, but if he looks like the guy who went 5-1 with this team, I think he could get through this Bucs team. Because when the Bucs faced Washington early in the year, I don't think they faced Alex Smith. I think they faced either Kyle Allen or the other asshole.
Did they face Washington this year?
Yeah, they faced the whole NFC East.
Oh, yeah. Why can't I find it? No, they didn't. They didn't play them. I don't know why they didn't play them. They should have played They didn't play the NFC East. They only played the Giants, and that's it. It was just a random conference game.
Oh, I thought that. My bad. I tweaked.
No, that's logical to think. You're good. It's logical to think that they would have played, because I would have thought the same thing. But the Giants seems like to be a random outlier game.
Yeah.
But I just, like I said, they haven't. So
did they
I brought this up. Yeah, I brought this up
points?
to. Thank you. They've only scored less than 20 points twice. The Bears, they put up 19, and it was 19-20. And then obviously that Saints game that you brought up where they had their playbook. And
I don't know about that.
Are you serious? Jameis Winston has the Bucs playbook. Literally. Quite literally.
I think it's the defense. I think the defense is they get after the quarterback, and Brady is pussy. Like,
okay.
I don't know what else.
That's the only 2 games that they've played very bad all year. Was just so happened to be against the guy that played quarterback for that fucking team for like almost 10 years. That is not a coincidence to me at all. Especially what came out games. Afterwards.
So they had bad games against the Saints, the Bears, the Rams, the
Chiefs.
Giants.
They were just playing from behind. This is your classic garbage time yards type situation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they had bad games. They had a lot of bad games, and it was all against actual playoff teams. Like, they're lucky that Washington isn't a true playoff team. But if Washington's quarterback was, I don't fucking know. If it was Derek Carr, I'd feel way more confident than Or if it was freaking just Alex Smith without injury, I would feel like I would just feel I would have bet for Washington to completely win the game. Instead, I'm doing it +8 because I think it's gonna happen.
If they do lose, you think it's gonna be a very close game.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe Brady
Brady
proves me wrong, but I promise you one thing: there's nothing that Brady's gonna do in this game that's gonna make me think otherwise of what he's gonna do in this playoff.
He has made a career of proving people wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. So we have Seattle versus the Rams. On our brackets, mine is next to me, Dario's is next to him. We both have the Seattle Seahawks defeating the LA Rams. And that makes me nervous. That makes me feel like
at all.
The Rams defense might be the best defense in the league. When it comes down to it.
I think they are the best defense in the league.
And Russell Wilson has sucked this month. So why do you think Seattle's going to win? And I'll talk about why I think they will.
So Seattle's defense has also been in the last probably half of the season, or I don't know, last 5 games of the season,
since they got some of their linemen back.
Yeah, I think they've been like a top 5 defense over those last 5 games or something like that.
Crazy considering how historically bad they were to start the year.
Exactly. So my overall thing is, if this is going to be more of a defensive game, I automatically look at it as, and if I was to be a bettor, who am I going to trust more? Russell Wilson or injured Jared Goff, or whoever the fuck their backup is. I would never bet against Seattle in those circumstances. Maybe if you had Jared Goff at full strength, there's a little bit more of a competition there. But you just gotta. The defenses are both good enough. You have to look at who's the better quarterback and who are you going to trust in a playoff game. Russell Wilson has been pretty consistent in all his playoff games. He's been pretty good. So I just can't imagine Russell Wilson shit in the bed.
So they won. Seattle won against the Rams most recently, and then did they split? I think they split it.
Yeah, they did.
Seattle. Yeah, they did. And the Rams defense has held them under 20 points both times, right? Jared Goff, no touchdown passes in the winning game. 300 yards, yes, but no touchdown passes. I think that's important to note. I'm gonna look again at the next game. Jared Goff again. So Jared Goff, a shit ton of yards, right? Almost 500 combined in 2 games, but no touchdown passes. Actually, almost closer to 550, but no touchdown passes, 1 interception through the 2 games, and they ended up splitting them. I think the Rams just need to commit to Cam Akers, who they did not have in this contest that they lost, and who they were not using to start the season. I think that's their. I think it's a time we've talked a lot on this show so far today about time of possession, and I think this is not an exception at all.
Yeah,
I believe that they're going to use their 3 capable backs that they've been using all year and to split the work. And I think you'll see 30 carries combined from the 3 of them, and I think they'll try to control time of possession. That's how the Rams win this game with the good defense. The problem is that
for a turnover.
The problem is that without Jared Goff in the game, they were only able to muster 18 points last week against the Cardinals, who have sucked defensively over the last month. Just an embarrassment. And that's John Wolford was able to put up 200. This look familiar? This stat line look familiar? This is exactly the stat line we saw against the Seahawks. I don't think he'll come close to that against the Seahawks. I think he's going to, I think I could see more turnovers out of that situation. That makes me nervous. But Cam Akers, already got the ball 21 times. I think that's what they're going to have to do. A terrible fucking yards per carry. Only got 34 yards with 21 attempts. Holy fuck.
Well, that's because that's what happens when you stack the box. You say, look, I'm gonna make you. And why wouldn't? That's my whole thing. Why wouldn't Seattle do that? Why aren't you
I am
gonna
agreeing
just
with
say, let me make your backup quarterback or your injured quarterback beat me?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see, if your injured quarterback could stand up to my superstar quarterback.
Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, no. That was pretty much it. Like
The thing about this is just this is going to be my pick for game that is super defensive. It has to be by nature.
Yeah,
it has to
under.
be.
It's going to under 100%.
Can you believe how bad
that.
Russell Wilson's finished the season in terms of like in totality in comparison to how he started? Man was averaging 4 touchdowns a game in the first month or two of the season, and now it feels like he barely gets up 2 touchdowns.
Like I was like, how? Like, just to look at that, he was on pace to have 60 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
And then he ended.
We were nutting about it.
He ended with, huh?
We were nutting about it to start the season.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's just the gap between the best quarterback in the league versus the second best quarterback in the league coming into this year. I mean, I'm just saying, because my guy, he put up the 50.
Fucking.
And if y'all don't know who my guy is,
you take some guesses based on the arrow on my fucking head.
Yeah.
But
I like that because it was arrow on my fuck. Oh yeah. My man is spitting bars.
Give me a stat line.
White boys got bars too.
Give me a stat line for Russell Wilson instead of bars.
I'm going 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, maybe like a fumble.
Maybe like a little fumble ski.
Yeah.
I think this is DK Metcalf's coming out party. If Seattle wins this game, it's going to be because DK Metcalf finally has his day on Jalen Ramsey. Because they both, the first game, Ramsey completely annihilated him. In the second game, Metcalf got a few more catches, but he doesn't have a touchdown scored, and he's only got 8 catches for 87 yards in total on the year.
He did get a touchdown that last game.
But
okay, I think that was the story going into that game. I thought it was, at least. I might be wrong.
I'll double check. I'm pretty sure that he did not get the touchdown, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. No touchdowns. Yeah, 6 for 59.
Oh my god.
Hollister got the touchdown, but I think Metcalf finishes the day with 100 yards and a touchdown on Jalen Ramsey. And that's how they win the game. If they don't, then the Rams could totally sneak out of this fucking game with a win. Totally. Their defense is completely capable of getting one of those robberies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you look at Seattle and you're like, they're playing better, but they're just not getting the points. You know?
Yeah.
I think it could come down to like field goal kicking. I could see several field goals in this game, maybe like 6 combined.
Yeah.
And I see the final score being like maybe 16-13. Because also, you got to realize, these teams have played twice this year. So they know each other. Division rivals, usually that makes a tighter game, you know?
Yeah.
So I could very much see this being like a defensive, run the clock out, run the ball type of game.
Yeah, I agree. This is definitely one of the more defensive games of the weekend for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, with no Jared Goff and with a hurt Jared Goff, it just makes it hard to justify picking the Rams. But if they do win, it'll definitely be. You want to talk about a team where I immediately think they're going to lose next week if they win? The Rams, 100%. If the Rams get it past this week, they are not winning against whoever they play next week. Doesn't matter who it is. Fucking.
Yeah.
But that's the main reason I want Seattle to make it out of here. But that's what we got for that. So last but certainly not least, we have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Chicago Bears. A game that happened in the middle of this year. Breeze was the quarterback, right? Yep, there he is.
Yeah.
It was not Taysom Hill yet at quarterback, but we both have New Orleans taking this, right?
Yeah, sure.
I definitely think this.
I'd be
You think
surprised.
so? Their spread is 10, and they're on DraftKings. Their spread's 10. They're up 10. You think they'll? You think the Bears will be able to cover? Or you think this be a blowout?
I don't trust the Saints in the fucking playoffs to just blow a team out because
Wow.
when they're supposed to, they just don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say I'd be super surprised if the Bears win, but then I'd also be like, well, it is the Saints, and they just fucking have heartbreaks every fucking
Playoff.
postseason. So yeah, but I would not bet the. I'm very weird when it comes to just betting a team to win, especially by like over a touchdown in the playoffs, because you're getting. It's not like you're getting a team on a random Sunday. You know what I mean? Like even then, like it's hard for that to happen.
They
like,
prepare
but to have
hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is This is the biggest game of your season. You're not gonna come and just lose by a blow, or at least you don't try to. You know,
This might be Drew Brees' last year, dude. There's a lot of reports coming out.
If they lose to the Bears, he's gonna retire immediately.
Nah, I think the exact opposite. Actually, I think if he loses to the Bears like this, there's a 100% chance he'll come back for one more year.
He shouldn't. That'll be dumb.
He shouldn't. He should stay home.
Yeah, like he looked bad. He'll be. This might be those one and done. I mean, not one and done, but chip and dip.
Yeah,
that might be
Drew
that.
Brees,
Too bad he's not gonna be
chip
able
and
to
dip. I would like. It'd be cool for Drew Brees to get a chip and dip. At least he's got one to his name. But in order to get recognized with the Mannings and the Bradys and the guys like that, you got to get two as a quarterback.
Yeah,
you got to get two as a quarterback. It's a stupid ass rule, but it's true. A lot of people look at it.
I mean, it makes sense. Like when you think about, like you can't even be considered one of the GOATs if you're not in the realm of the GOATs. All these GOATs
in order to be considered one of the 5 best quarterbacks of all time, I'm pretty sure all of them in that. You know what? That fifth spot, he'd seal it with the 2 championships because it's him and Favre. I think they're in the same category right now. But so Favre's got more MVPs than Brees has. Favre's got more.
Is Brady?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And this is not in any order. Most people have it as this order though.
Yeah.
Fourth
you got
is
Elway. Elway's in there.
And then 5th is Favre?
Maybe.
I feel like there's another guy.
Quarterbacks, like, there's a bunch of guys in there. Roger Staubach's in there. But you got to go way back. Like, there's a bunch of, like, Joe Namath's a great quarterback. He's not in the top 5. But most of the guys you named in the top 5.
What about the Pittsburgh dude? The guy that goes crazy on freaking.
Oh, Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw.
They ran the ball a lot. He was under 200 yards passing on all those championships. So some people poop on that.
Yeah, and they had like the steel curtain. And shit.
And one of the best defenses of all time. But
yeah,
those 5 guys that we named at first, right? We had Elway, Manning, Brady, fucking Montana.
Yeah,
they all have multiple Super Bowls, at least 2.
Yeah,
and I think Brees gets in that conversation with the second ring. That maybe he doesn't. He's knocking on the door, knocking on the glass ceiling of those conversations. If that sort of thing matters to you.
Does Favre have a Super Bowl?
Yeah, he's got one.
What? Okay,
in the 90s.
So my whole thing is, why would he be over Brees?
I don't know. It's a different conversation for a different day.
Okay. That's just curiosity.
We can do that when we break down Drew Brees' legacy, which we should do. We can have these conversations.
Let us know if you want some legacy breakdowns.
Put it in
the comments section. And for our NFL fans, if you guys don't know what a legacy breakdown is, you could check in our archives.
Yes.
We break down the greatest players of all times for basketball and talk about each of their important years and break down their legacies. So let us know if you'd want that.
You know what? I'm gonna put it right there. Look over there when you do that. So, I think
I see no fucking way that Chicago wins this game.
Yeah,
we're good.
Mitch, we're good. We're good. See you guys. We're out. No, I think Mitch Trubisky is one of the luckiest human beings in the world right now, let alone the NFL. This is a guy who got unceremoniously benched halfway through the year for Nick Foles, right?
Yeah.
Then, on the back of David Montgomery, is now the quarterback of an offense that scored 30 points per game. What, like 3-4 weeks in a row?
Oh yeah,
Something
I think it was four straight weeks. This was actually the first time they did it in like, I want to say like 30 years or some shit like that.
From a fantasy standpoint, David Montgomery has had 25 fantasy points all month, every game, no excuses. Yeah. So their offense has put points on the board. Matt Nagy has been known to do that in his past because he used to work for your team. And so here we go. So last week they put up 16 against the Packers. I think this is going to be the score of the Saints game. 16-35.
That's funny.
That is definitely, that looks like the score to me. I could totally see that being the case. I see Alvin Kamara and Drew Brees just shitting on them. Honestly, I really believe.
You know how excited Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be if, for whatever reason, the Bears upset the freaking Saints. He's going to be like, I didn't know it was going to be this easy. Like,
hey, he smacked the shit out of the Saints earlier this year, too.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it was a closer game, though. It was like 37-31, some shit like that. But
yeah, but the you know how we're talking about, it was one of those games where the Packers had the lead the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
So David Montgomery, 89 yards against the Saints in their last contest. Allen Robinson had his usual 6 for almost 100 and a touchdown. But Nick Foles is not the quarterback anymore. And
yeah,
I think Trubisky's in over his head. And until further notice, I'm going to think that.
Yeah, the only thing that we noticed about this defense, this Saints defense,
yeah,
and it was towards close to the end of the season, was they don't do that well against running quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, and that could play in that could be a pretty big key to this game in the Chicago Bears somehow in hell making an upset.
How many yards has Mitch run for? And like, let's see. So let's do Jacksonville, because if there's a game he's gonna run against the fucking Jaguars. Like, because I do know that he used to do that all the time. He's got his rushing touchdown,
10, yeah.
But he used to run like get you 50 yards at least in a game.
Maybe after his shoulder injury, he was just like, nah, I'm not trying to get out of the pocket anymore.
Maybe he just was like, nah, fuck this team. They benched me. I'm not trying for them as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true too. Like if you think that you're gonna get if you're gonna get benched or if you're not gonna be the starter moving forward, you might want to self-preserve. But I mean, being in the playoffs right now, like you're gonna try to do whatever you can.
I think,
I'm sure that might be part of their plan against Saints. Like because think about it. If we noticed it, there's no way an NFL team didn't notice.
Very true.
You know what I mean?
Very true. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matchups historically have all gone to New Orleans.
Yeah.
So if that's any kind of a notion, and they've all been kind of close. None of them have covered. Well, this one covered that spread of 10 points. This one didn't. That's the only one though. Only one time did they cover the spread. Oh, this one's 11. So most of the time they play a closer game. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Saints 100%. I just there's no way they don't win.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
But all right. That is going to do it for the NFC. I am your host, Russell Broderick. That way is Dario Albuquerque. And we are saying peace, but we'll see you tomorrow for fantasy.
Peace.